your next project will be a completely open-ended work. It's called Constructed Space. What you'll be doing is you will be creating an original work, but you will need to document the artistic process along the way. I call it a constructed space because you are creating the space, but you must use at least one original reference, meaning a photo that you took. You'll be documenting this process on some artistic process slides. The technique that I'll be assessing you on is how you are using various techniques to enhance dimension. The composition must have a middle ground, foreground, and background to create that space. So, just to remind you that we have learned how contour line defines subjects. We have directly observed our subject through blind contour. We have done an observed space perspective drawing in the hallways. We've also used references. Hopefully you've submitted your references for the greeting card. We've also talked about underlying grid structures, and we use inking techniques to show value and dimension. So you're going to combine all of this and also include various media of your choice to create this constructive space. So what might be new to you is atmospheric perspective. I would take a look at this link. There's a very short video that explains atmospheric perspective. We will also look at color blending. We will again address foreground, middle ground, and background. You may decide to do this as a relief design. Talk about that shortly. Watercolor, or at least advanced uses of watercolor, might be new to you, and tempera paint will also be a media that is allowed to use. The relief sculpture, it will be more of kind of a relief coming out from the background, and this can help create this sense of space. This is an example of a previous student project where they created almost a light box and they put a light behind it. So you could do something similar. Here are some other examples of students kind of combining that idea of linear perspective with a foreground, middle ground, background, and again using some of their own visual references. Again, that investigation is important. So that's where you're going to document and organize the process of your work. Because again, this must be original. You are not copying something that has already been created. You are making something new. You are constructing something brand new. Some ideas that might get you started. Maybe you have a visual in mind and you're ready to go and start sketching your thumbnails and gathering your references. But if you need an idea, maybe you can think about capturing yourself in a familiar location or a space that shapes your world, such as somewhere around the school. Maybe it's your bedroom. Maybe it's a workplace, friend's house, or a sports field, something like that. You can also take a familiar space, such as the school, and add something unexpected, like a creature or fictional character, and that would be pretty neat too. You can also create a completely new space that you would like to explore, but then insert yourself or a friend into the scene. So maybe the space is not the original photo that you took, but you're kind of creating that space from collected references, and you yourself or a friend or someone else is included in that space, and that would be your original reference. That would be your photo that you're working from. Okay, you can also think about, maybe you're very into stories. You can create a scene from a book or a story. A lot of that literary terminology helps to describe that space, but then you can kind of give a visual to it. You'll still need to add in an original reference, so you'll have to provide something that you're working from in person, from observation, or a photo of a subject to work from. Please consult the Constructed Space artistic process slides to start brainstorming and thinking about ideas.